Shalom, 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 shalom. This is your brother Yael Ezra Ben Levi coming at you again with another quick video. I want to challenge my brothers and sisters to those who say they love the truth, they love the word of God, and they just want the truth. To get a bit better understanding and to actually gain access to the gold you want to receive in knowing the truth, you want to acquire this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you have to challenge yourself to learn the language. There are several tools out there to help you learn the language so you could better walk in truth. Now, I want to challenge you because many people love the King James Bible. Some of the people act like this was actually the people in the biblical times must have spoke Old English, because they act like the King James Bible is the absolute perfection. It's not. It's flawed with many errors, many translators. That's why every so many years they revise it. They try to fix their wrong. They try to correct it. But there's one thing I noticed that they do. When it comes to something that is a so-called messianic prophecy, they won't correct the error. But you notice anywhere else that word that they mistranslate in a so-called messianic prophecy, in other passages, they translate it correctly. Think about that. But let me just give you this one right here. This is Psalms 2, verse 12. I'm going to read it from the King James. Then I'm going to read it from the Septuagint. Then I'm going to read it from the Hebrew. Now, this is all going to both be in English, so you understand. Now, this is the King James. They say this is the messianic prophecy. I'm going to read 11 and 12. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Now, you have to understand, it said, serve the Lord in all caps. It's basically fear Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling. Now, let me go to the Hebrew and the Greek. I'm going to start with the Greek first, the Greek Septuagint. This is what it says. I'm going to read the same two verses again. Verse 11, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice exceedingly because of him with trembling. Take hold of instructions in case the Lord become angry and you perish from the righteous way, when his anger burns out quickly. Blessed are all who trust in him. Who is the him? It's not talking about the Son, because there's no Son mentioned here. Verse 11 lets you know to fear Yahweh. Serve Yahweh with fear. And it said, and uphold instructions. What instructions? Instructions of the Torah. Lest he be angry. Now let's go to what it says in the Hebrew. The same passage I'm going to read. Verse 11 and 12. You see what it has to say. Serve the Lord in awe. Tremble with fright. Verse 12. Pay homage in good faith, lest he be angry and your way be doomed. In the mere flash of his anger, happy are all who take refuge in him. Did you notice anything that was missing? Because remember, the King James say, kiss the Son. I done gave you two passages. The revered and beloved Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Old Testament that many Christians say the early church went by the Septuagint. Then if that is the case, why aren't you agreeing with what it says right here? Because there's no mention of no kiss the Son. What that is, I'm going to say it was a translator error. I'm not going to say he had an agenda. Maybe he did have an agenda to willfully deceive the people, because we have to understand the Hebrew word for purity or pure is bar. That's Hebrew. Bar does not mean son in Hebrew. Ben is son in Hebrew. Bar is pure or purity or cleanness. Now, bar in Aramaic means son. But Psalms 2 is not written in the Aramaic. So why will they continually mistranslate this word, but everywhere else in the King James, they translate it right? So once again, if you want to take the time to learn the truth and you want to make sure that you're found walking according to the word of God, take the time to learn the language. We should not want to become a scholar and a master of a deceptive work that we could easily fact check with the tools that are out there to see that they mistranslated this word for an agenda to uphold a messianic prophecy that's not even a messianic prophecy. And I just showed that to you out of two passages from two translations that plainly let you know it's not talking about no kiss the son in verse 12 of Psalms chapter 2. So my people, I challenge you, take the time to learn the biblical language and find out what is actually being said to us. Shalom.